Ready for the mosh pit, shaka bra.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to StrangeCast Player One vs. Life is Strange Fan Podcast, episode 134, Side A. I am one of your co-hosts, Adnan Riaz. My co-host, Adam Evalt, is it? Evalt, you are here?
I am here. I am here with you. We're doing this on Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day, buddy.
We're doing like Max and Chloe on that boat, aren't we? The boat scene is finally happening.
Yeah. Happy Valentine's Day. We're on the boat.
Yeah, one of the one days I despise more than anything else. This is the day that I utterly despise. I love Halloween, but every other holiday, no, not having it. And especially those 4th of July people as well. Oh bloody hell! Oh no, look at me go! That's what happened.
Yeah, getting away from England. Let's go, baby. Yeah.
How's that treating you?
Yeah. So we're starting the show, huh? We're starting the show.
Yeah, there we go. Well, let's just leave it there then. But yeah, we're back though. Thank you for joining us. We're back. So we're recording on Valentine's Day, the special day as it is. We hope you all had a great Valentine's Day as well. But yeah, before we start as well, if you are new here, please do consider dropping subscribe on the channel, turn notifications, like the video, and share with your friends. We're almost at 2,300 subscribers. So if you help us get there, that would be amazing. And StrangeCast is available on all podcast services. Check us out on Spotify with a video version, Apple Podcasts. We're at 357 followers now on Spotify. We've got over 50 ratings on Spotify. So if you can rate us and download us, it helps boost our visibility to other people. So bear with us, as I said. Oh, great, there goes a notification. Bear with us. We are now recording on the Valentine's Day. Obviously, I'm hoping to get Catherine Vincelli's interview out as well in the coming week. The coming week after Valentine's Day. And obviously, because it's Lost Records' 1 year anniversary for the first tape being released, which we will talk about in a moment as well. And we'll get into the episode. With this episode, we're catching up on things because like our schedules were kind of thrown out all over the place. I'm gonna put that on mute because it just seems everything will go off. Yeah, so we're catching up on schedules because we had obviously a bit of a wait on the Patreon episode and then other things have happened. We're just going to catch up on certain topics and kind of pick up from things where reunions are, and hopefully we can just cover some topics that we never actually discussed. We kind of alluded to this one in the comment of the podcast, but I thought we'd go into a bit more. So that's it. And yeah, we're on social media and also on Patreon, so do support us there as well. And you can more content there and whatever else, etc., etc. Adam,
yeah,
first topic.
No, yeah, let's do it. Yeah,
let's do this. Right, so I'm gonna pull it up here. Literally everything is just coming off on my screen. Like, what's going on here? I didn't even actually do this. This is weird. Right, go away with you. Yeah, Adam, we're on screen. We're on screen. So as you can see here. We are going to cover this piece of news, which was covered in a comment of the podcast, but we finally go into it a little bit more depth. So this was an interview with Ashly Burch with Eurogamer. She said, and the article says that Ashly Burch may not be returning for Life is Strange Union, but Max and Chloe will always have a special place in her heart. A nice little tagline of Arcadia Bays. So Ashly Burch has here done an interview with Eurogamer. Obviously, Life is Strange Reunion is coming out. Ashly Burch is not reprising her role for that. And there's just a couple of quotes here from Ashly Burch, and I thought I'd just read them out here. So, as you can see here, now speaking with Eurogamer following Reunion's reveal, Burch says she doesn't, quote-unquote, know a lot about this project, end quote, but regardless, Max and Chloe's characters still mean a great deal to her, and there's no doubt that they always will. And it's Ashly Burch said here, quote-unquote, I wasn't asked to reprise my role as Chloe, so I'm learning about Reunion at the same time as fans, end quote. She added, quote-unquote, she is quote unquote grateful. People still care so much about these characters, end quote. And then finally, as well, Ashly Burch said in there saying, quote unquote, Max and Chloe will always have a special place in my heart. So obviously, if you end quote, and also if you are unaware, obviously Ashly Burch played Chloe Price in the first Life is Strange voiceover. She also did Chloe Price's voice in Farewell alongside Hannah Telle when she came back for the role.
Yeah.
And she was also a consultant writer on Before the Storm. I can't remember the specific title she had, but she was working on Before the Storm as a writer as well. So yeah, she's not been affiliated with a franchise for a while. So I thought we'd just bring this up as well, because there's a lot of like discussions and details kind of discussed in this piece as well. Just to start with, just for transparency, I heard 2 different accounts about her non-involvement in this game. Unfortunately, my career and also Adam's career is very flimsy for us to survive anything being said, unfortunately. none of it's going to go on the record, unfortunately. No one's willing to put themselves on the record to kind of add to this. So unfortunately, yeah, it's off the record, the information that we've given. I have more details on this. Unfortunately, I can't say anything. My career's too flimsy to yeah, there we go. There's Jose Mourinho, for people who don't know, the Portuguese sensation, the special one, the former Manchester United manager and Benfica manager currently. And that clip is always, "If I speak, I am in big trouble," which is my famous go-to phrase. I think it's probably for a lot of journalists as well that say that. So thank you, Adam. I was wondering what happened to the screen. I was like, why have we been knocked off there? Yeah, unfortunately, I can't say what it is. This is just a general conversation about things. And yeah, my life, my career is too flimsy to survive anything for someone coming from me. Adam, Ashly Burch, she ain't coming back.
I mean, to kind of piggyback off of you, like we were like talking a little bit, and just like if it hasn't been said what's actually happening, then we're not going to. You know what I mean? That's all I'm gonna say. You know, like I'm leaving it to the parties involved to like say what they need to say, and that's going to be what they need to say. That's all. But that's all I'm going to say in the cryptic manner. But to go off of what the articles are saying,
just based on what you're saying there as well, this is the kind of just to lace this in a bigger conversation as well. This is like the old he said she said kind of thing. So like, if you take back that IGN piece, that one about Deck 9, obviously there are issues and things you kind of want to question. There's also other things you question about the actual piece and stuff. But a lot of it as well is finger pointing as well, saying you did this and you did that. And when Adam even spoke about, like, you know, what Gareth was doing and stuff like that, some people burn, some people at stake, some people don't. There is a lot of finger pointing in this situation. And in the same situation, it can be with this one with Ashly Burch. Because, like, for example, you only have one account here, which is Ashly Burch's account, saying that she didn't get asked to come back. Now, imagine, hypothetically speaking, Square Enix comes out and says, "We reached out to you, but you didn't take on the role." And it kind of adds that like next layer of explosion, you know, on the flavor of the story. Like, we don't know, because at this point, no one from Deck 9 has said anything. No one from Square Enix has said anything. It is just Ashly Burch saying, yeah, having spoken to Eurogamer. That doesn't say that Ashly Burch is wrong in any kind of count, but you can easily throw a spanner in the works in terms of the bigger story, because we're only accurately talking about this from one perspective of one person. And ultimately, again, it goes back to all the scandals, all the other things that happen, etc. It's always who's saying what and how it's going, and measuring the facts and everything else with it, because sometimes it does end with that person said something and the other person said the other thing. Is when you go back to the IGN piece, you know, with Gareth and Littleton and all the other people, you like, one person's pointing at the other person, the other one's doing it. It's like that Spider-Man meme when they're all like pointing at each other. And it's like, who's saying what and who are we taking for gospel truth? It's like, can we take the one gospel truth? It's like, maybe not. And it depends on the narrative you want to run with it, because again, from that IGN piece, like, people took the line of Rebecca Valentine saying, you know, that kind of quote that she put in there saying about Square Enix not liking quote unquote gay games. And even she went on the Reset Era thread that I read in the last episode, and she said, I don't know why people are running with this. I'm like, no, you must know why people are running with it. You've been in journalism long enough to know when people anchor a narrative and run with things. Obviously, you raise questions about things, but you can't just systematically apply one label to everything. But people do that, because I've seen people discuss why she's not involved in this as well. But I'll give back to you before I kind of go into that as well.
Yeah, it's just like multiple parties are hurt by this news. I'm just gonna say that. Like, I'm gonna say it's not really one sided. It's kind of like, okay. I'm just like I'm with my ADHD brain. I really have to like extra
to programming. So I think, for example, like, kind of like maybe set another thing up. It's like, I think the narrative story about union is a big one as well.
Oh God, yeah.
and yeah, and it's a big thing that's like, I haven't even fully looked at it, but it's like, you can't just say like Square Enix is anti-union or something like that, unless there's a specific, like, unless President Kiryu has come out and said that and has specifically put it on the record or something. You have to like judge it on what it is, because like, I don't know if how many games of the Final Fantasy VII have had SAG actors or anything else with it. I was even saying to Adam as well, ironically as well, because people are very much like Square Enix doesn't work with union actors because of X reason, and the same with Life is Strange series. I said to Adam as well, I'm pretty sure every single entry in the Life is Strange franchise has had a SAG-AFTRA actor. Like literally every single one. Like even if you go back to the first Life is Strange, Joe Ockman has been in the industry. Yeah, but I mean, like even with Life is Strange, like Joe Ockman has been in the industry. He played William Price for like decades. He's been part of SAG for ages, and he's just one of them. You go to like Before the Storm, obviously union actor strike happens, but obviously Hannah Telle and Ashly Burch come back for Farewell. So they are union actors with agreements that were in place at that point to kind of come back and reprise those rules because, you know, they did that kind of like agreement and whatnot. And then you go further down the line, True Colors, Han Soto's a union actor. A lot of the other actors are eligible. I haven't looked at all of them to see it. Double Exposure, Rachel Kroll is SAG-AFTRA. Ashlyn Hydeman is SAG-AFTRA. You go into Life is Strange Reunion, Ashlyn Hydeman is pretty much still, I think, SAG-AFTRA as well at this point. Day has a history of SAG now as well. Like she's very much a SAG actor. It's like you can't just say like they're not taking union actors on for SAG. It doesn't look like I've seen it as well. Like just some of the quotes when people are saying like Webb has said something on a stream or Zach Garris has said something on the stream. I'm like, but what have they said? Do you have the clip? Like, send it to me because I'd love to see it, or I'd like to see what their quotes are. Because are you misconstruing what they've said in terms of how they tonally phrased it? Because they might have said something in a certain line if you picked up on and ran with it. Because, like, for me, I don't understand it. And here's the thing: I don't understand how you do a mocap dev service that they tried when you have a reputation that you hate union actors. And even with Deck 9 as well, we literally interviewed developers on this channel for it. The Expanse game that they made, they were so committed to getting Cara G, they weren't going to use drummer in any other way, shape, or form. And what did they do as well? When they went and got Cara G is a SAG-AFTRA actor. And they literally had to put SAG protocols on the set the minute that she comes on, because you do that when productions change, SAG actors get involved. You have to be complicit with SAG's protocols. So I'm like, hang on a minute. How can you like even apply all these labels? Like it's weird though, Adam, though, because like for me as well, like as a journalist, if I said this in like a piece saying like, well, Square Enix hates unions and Deck 9, you can get sued for that. Because that's a defamatory claim as well. Like to say something like that, you know, it's just like you can't just say something like that without any whimsical thing. I always see it with some people, like you know, spin the narrative and stuff. It's like, well, they hate SAG-AFTRA. It's like, really? It's like, hang on a minute. I'm questioning like how that can be when you look at other evidence within the Life is Strange franchise that points differently, or other people say that as well. Like that's my kind of concern of it as well. And I said this before as well. SAG is a good thing for certain people. I know a lot of actors who aren't part of SAG. Because there's that hand of thing where you are part of union, which is great sometimes because it does give you those benefits as an actor. Obviously, I'm not disputing that. You've seen some of the strikes and stuff. However, you're also limited in certain ways from what I've seen with SAG as well. And that includes production roles that you take and what kind of jobs you associate yourself with. Like that does happen with SAG protocols. Like you might not be able to get onto certain jobs or whatever requirements they are, etc. You have to meet certain requirements to be part of SAG. That's a whole different can of worms. So it's like, if it was that simple, if it's that simple, every actor would be part of SAG, wouldn't they?
So my thing is, I think you should be the Jason Schreier of Life is Strange and write a book similar to Play Nice.
It would be
just reveal.
It'd be 290 pages of comedy and 10 pages of just like pain. That's what it would be like. It would truly be like
that. I'm sure people would buy that. The Life After Strange, the novel.
Oh my god! Imagine if we wrote half the things that were happening in this series in that book. I think it would make your head spin. Like I've had my head spin like 3 or 4 years now in the running, and it's like,
I mean, because like again, people contact us, like people slide into our DMs, like saying like, well, why doesn't Don't Nod make a Life is Strange game? Or why is Deck 9 hiding behind Square Enix? Why is Ashly Burch really not coming back as Chloe? It's kind of like I'm trying to like whenever I reply in the comments in the YouTube comments, I'm just trying to be as
diplomatic.
I'm trying. What's that?
Diplomatic.
Not just diplomatic, but I'm just trying to like kind of feed you into like, hey, and like anytime we're on the show, we're just trying to like give you the public breadcrumbs. Like we know some things. However, there are some public breadcrumbs that like, hey, it's out in the open. You just gotta follow the breadcrumbs here, and you'll come to the same conclusion without without the internal knowledge. I'm trying to think of like a recent example that we did.
Well,
That like
Reunion.
about Reunion. Yeah, it's just like, hey, follow the breadcrumbs here. It's just kind of like there's a lot of things that like have been written, and you can kind of make your conclusions from there. But to say that Square is against unions when, especially like with Final Fantasy actors, Brie, what's
Brianna White? Brianna White?
Brianna White? Yeah,
Is it Brianna
Brianna
White?
White. I'm pretty sure
Is it Brianna White?
I'm pretty yeah, Brianna White, I believe.
Brianna White.
Yeah, but they're part of SAG, yeah? I'm pretty sure.
Let's have a look.
But like, there's a lot of like Final Fantasy actors that are part of SAG. You know, I don't know. It's just kind of like don't go into the conclusion that like Square and Deck Nine
She is a
hate
member.
you. Yeah, like it's there's a lot of Square Enix actors that are part of SAG-AFTRA.
Mate, it's in a press release here. In literally a Square Enix press release talking about SAG. Which is crazy. I just literally seen it here. Hang on a minute. It's about Final Fantasy, ironically. Talking about SAG in there. Like, that's so funny that you mentioned that. Look at that. So it's on. Let me pull myself out of here quickly and put it on the big screen.
On the Square Enix website.
On the Square Enix website. So it's Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Britt Baron, and Brianna White Talk Women's History Month. So it's March 18th, 2024. Oh, by the way, as well, what performances! Oh my god, I love that.
Yeah.
I understand why the 7 purists don't like Final Fantasy remake and what they're doing, but like unbelievable performances from both of them, like outrageously good. But if you look here, for example, and you go down here, there, look, who's that? The interview.
Yeah.
So that's Brianna White. Yeah, Brianna White. How did you start as an actor? And it says there as well. You know, I then started booking indie films and got a co-star on Criminal Minds Beyond Borders, which allowed me to join the Actors Union SAG-AFTRA. Like they're literally mentioning it on the website. Like, how can Square Enix hate unions if they put on the freaking website? Are you actually kidding me? That's the reason why they didn't bring Ashly Burch up? God, you can't be serious. Like, it's there. No publisher is, no matter what they think of unions or whatever else, no publisher is ever going to be like, well, we're completely anti-union. Okay, cool. The video game strike from the last decade did burn people. It burned also the actors as well, because some of them never got to reprise their roles and stuff. But it's just a narrative. You're just spinning a narrative because of you're trying to explain the unexplainable, being like, oh well, because Ashly Burch has not said the specific reason for why she's not there or certain things. You kind of attach it to this kind of reputation that Square Enix has. By the way, I'm not some Square Enix apologist and everything else. I've been one of the most critical people of the publisher. Like,
I think it's pretty open. If you've seen this show, we are not Square Enix apologists at all. I mean, I will be if I get a free jacket. Free stuff will make me apologist. So if Square, if you want to contact me, I like free stuff. Let's go.
But no, like that's what I mean though. You literally just said it as well. Like they've had actors in other things. Like it's not as simple as like, well, Ashly Burch hasn't come involved because of this. Like as I said, it only takes the powder keg if someone came out from like Deck Nine or like Square Enix to dispute her account or something and say something differently. That's when the kind of worm opens up in journalism, because you're like, hang on a minute, like, huh? And it's like it's what you choose to believe and what you like to pick out of stories. And that's not to say anything that Ashly Burch has said is wrong. It's that old cliche. There's always two sides to each story. And you have to kind of go down that route of like figuring out what it is, you know? You have to go down that route, paint the picture. And I've always said it as well, I've always found it interesting that in all the things that IGN Expo say, for example, no one has still picked up on that line and ran with it. What Gareth said, where he's like, I had to reel people in for True Colors, you know, to get it all over the finish line. I'm like, have you seen True Colors? I'm like, go back and play True Colors. It's like that game dodged the double exposure bullet that it got. Like that's an example where someone really reeled things in as well. And I said it before as well, I've not spoken to a single person that's willing to back up the claims against Zach Garrison, that piece. I know there's other people who are disputing it and stuff, but again, you have to kind of wonder who's saying what about what. Do you have infinities with certain other people? Is it like 4 or 5 people that say something? I'm not saying like he's clean of anything or whatever else of it. That's a different story. Again, I don't own Zach Garris stock value or anything like that. You know, I'm just saying it in the pure journalism sense. I'm also saying this because I've done this for years. And the amount of times someone says one thing and you go and ask someone else and they're like, You're like,
Yeah.
I'm like, what story are you spinning there? I'm like, that's always interesting, like what you're trying to tell me. Because I'm like, this person has told me this. And they're like, You're like, well, let's figure
Yeah.
that out. It is true though. It's true. How many times have you been told something? It's like it's from one person. You're like, you go to the other person. You're like,
Yeah.
that doesn't make sense. It's like, what's going on there?
Yeah, and like I guess like to wrap up this topic before we get ourselves in like deep doo doo, I think just like to summarize this, we're such a small channel that we're not trying to like stoke any flames here. We're just trying to like report on what's being said. And whatever the official reports are saying, we're just gonna kind of, hey, that's what's out there. What we're trying to say is it's like, hey, like when something else comes out, right? I'm just saying that like don't believe this article. And I know that's like a whole like big like conservative media propaganda bull, like don't believe the media. But like I'm not trying to say it like that, like a conservative MAGA bullshitter. What I am trying to say is like there's a little bit more complexity to this story. That's not just like, oh yeah, she wasn't invited back. There's a little bit more to that. So I hope someday we can talk about it. But for right now, like this is the official statement, and whatever the official statement is just what's going to be the official statements. I that's as best as I can put it. Like this is what is canon in this story right now. What is
Yeah.
canon is this, and that's all we can say.
Yeah, well, ultimately, it goes down to that point where someone else says something. It can easily develop into another narrative picture. If someone came out, or someone else leaked something, or someone said something differently, and then you kind of have two conflicting statements.
Yeah,
Ultimately,
we don't want to be leakers. We want to be community builders.
I
Is
don't
what
know.
our role is.
I'm not a leaker. Like I've got all the,
Yeah,
I got a lot of, like, I've had a lot of people put a lot of trust in me, and that trust is always kept as well, and the faith is always repaid. And I've never done anything that's ever exposed any of the people I've ever spoken to. So that's what it is. But like in the sense of with this, ultimately the other big thing is as well is if Ashly Burch was approached and Ashly Burch said no in a hypothetical example, they would have recasted for this role, or they would have got Rhianna DeVries back anyway. So like you're ultimately in that position. You are replaceable. No matter who you are, what role you play, you will get replaced. Industry, capitalism, we've gone through that old shenanigan as well. Nothing is sacred. It is what it is. And you have that as well. So ultimately we're in that position where we play with the actors and what you've got. So yeah, Ashly Burch didn't come back for it. I wish Rhianna DeVries the best of luck. They're coming back for it. You know, it's a tall order. Everything else that's on there, you know, all the chips are on the table. In itself, it's a shame that this couldn't have happened where Square Enix and Ashly Burch and Deck Nine came back in some, you know, hand-holding Simpsons sketch kind of thing. And it's like they came and made this game because like obviously it would have been even more, well, not palatable. It would have been even more enticing for people to go back into this game and give it a second chance and stuff. I think Ashly Burch was the trump card to kind of really get people like fully involved in this and get that quote unquote reunion, the ultimate nostalgia optics. But ultimately, yeah,
Yes.
we're out. So yeah, it's a very complex thing. It's not as simple as this person has done this and this is the reason. These things are always a lot more complicated. It's never as simple as that. If it was that simple, Jason Schreier would be sleeping at night every night being like, this is the best thing I've ever done. And he must be like having nightmares doing about 50 other things that he's getting told and said. But no, it's interesting to nonetheless see it. It's a shame that Ashly Burch hasn't come back from it, but you know, as you will. Adam, should we go into our next piece of topic?
Yeah, let's get out of this topic.
Yeah. So I'm gonna pull it up here. You really don't like that topic, did you?
What's that?
You really don't like that
Let's hop
topic.
out.
So as you can see, we kind of covered this, but we have talked about it. This was actually now confirmed. So in the live stream, Rhianna DeVries confirms that Jonathan Zimmerman is writing the game. We don't know if that's just a singular writer. It could be more than one writer, but Rhianna says that Jonathan is writing Chloe and other things, so we'll have to kind of map that out. Jonathan Zimmerman is no longer at Deck Nine Games anymore. He's now at Telltale Games. He left about last November, but it was confirmed on himself as well that he is the co-director of Life is Strange Reunion. So yeah, I thought we would just kind of talk about Zimmerman and also just generally because the other co-director is not known yet. Very interesting,
That's me.
nonetheless.
I am the
Yeah.
other co-director.
It's gonna be it's
Yes.
gonna be the higher power. It's gonna be like Vince McMahon. He's gonna be like, it was me. It's gonna be Frosthead. It's gonna be me, Austin. It was me all along. No joking. No, so yeah, we have a co-director. We don't know you don't know who the co-director is. I'm waiting for them to reveal themselves. It'll be very interesting when you see who it is. And then so we got Zimmerman on here. Adam, I think again this fits into the timeline narrative where I think people are getting conflicted with Reunion's development time frame and when it was put into production and stuff because as you will. So you have Zimmerman writing and also co-directing the game. He is truly the Swiss Army knife at Deck 9 at this point, or formerly at Deck 9 when he was there.
Yeah, formally. Once again, this kind of puts out to just a little bit off topic. With the amount of people that are no longer at Deck 9, it's kind of like, well, who's there? You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure there's still employees there that we're not like familiar with, but there's so much like talent that's no longer at Tech 9, including Jonathan Zimmerman, that we're just like, okay, who dare? Who is here?
Bro's got into even more of the pits with Telltale, like trying to help them out. We haven't seen The Wolf Among Us 2 for like years. Like what's going on there?
Yeah, Telltale is like apparently a thing now, and it's just kind of like, okay. So with Deck 9, it's kind of like who, and with Telltale, it's kind of like what?
Yeah.
What are you doing? It's like, okay, well, Telltale has the talent. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, where are you going? Yeah, so it is kind of strange to see this. And like, hey, it's kind of like in a similar stance of like with Double Exposure that the entire team was gone before they could win like awards and stuff. And now this team is gone before the game even releases. It's so weird, dude.
Well, even example as well. You look at the live stream that they did, that 50-minute live stream, well, 20 minutes mainly. But it was like Rhianna DeVries and Hannah Telle were on there. And it's like, if you look at the Double Exposure one, Hannah was obviously there talking on it. But Elise Williams, the host, was interviewing John Stouder and Felice Kwan. And it's like, we only got mention of a right. Think about it. We're recording 14th of February. You don't know who the other co-director is. You don't know the development team. You know who the motion capture director is. He's put himself out there. You know one or two of the other lead programmers. You don't know what the team looks like, which is even more of a bit of an eye-opener. Because hang on a minute, who is it? And it's like that's where it's like the revealing thing. Because if he's the writer, for example, and he's rewriting things, for example, like he's going to need a co-director in the chair to kind of like help production move along. Let's again off that conversation, the Patreon episode. Think about the timeline productions. People are underestimating how quick you can make a game. It's ridiculous, but you have to think about all the little fine parameters of it as well. Go back and watch the live stream as well. Look at how many reused assets they're using. Everything else, you're eliminating really basic work. It's like, for example, if Adam was making a music track, he could reuse the assets if he needed to, like for a certain one. It eased the process a lot quicker. So yeah, with Zimmerman, interesting.
Yeah, there's a lot to like say about that too, like reusing assets and whatnot. But yeah, so it is. I have a lot of faith in Reunion just because of like what Jonathan Zimmerman is able to do. Like he was on the Expanse team, which what we know, the Expanse team was like a really core element to Deck 9. That being like under Frost's leadership. So working with Frost and now doing Reunion, it's just kind of like I don't know, man. It just makes me know that like, hey, the Reunion's not it's not going to be as bad as we are going to portray it to be. Like Double Exposure was a completely different team, like a completely different writing team, a completely different development team. We know that the Expanse team was working on the Expanse. And we love the Expanse. Like the Expanse was a great title, it was a great gameplay. So we have to like go into it knowing that Jonathan Zimmerman is a great writer, along with the Expanse team coming in, essentially to make Reunion. So we have a completely different perspective here. So I don't think this game is going to be bad in any sort of sense. I don't think it's going to blow us out of the water in terms of a Life is Strange game, but I don't think it's going to be a train wreck, you know?
Yeah, like they were in the credits of Double Exposure. They did do things because obviously they're slicing people apart, like when they were like laying people off. And if you go look in the credits, the Expanse team is heavily credited in there in different roles. So yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if they worked on like parts of it and whatnot. What you're saying as well is like right as well because like the Expanse team was far better than the original. Like outside of the mocap team, which is its own separate entity, like the Expanse team was far better as a development team on at Deck Nine. And like they like even when I was watching back some of the live stream as well and saw some of like the cult masks and stuff, it kind of reminded me of the Expanse and like certain parts of that
Yeah.
kind of game where it's like, talking about like little like factions and stuff. And that I was like, yeah, you can see it in the dark and the stylistic tone that they've changed to. It's like, yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Look, all you need to do with this game as well is deliver a margarita pizza. I know people throw slander on margarita pizza. Maybe people do, man. Like it's hot. It's just plain beige and exactly that's it. You can't beat a margarita pizza when it's just like as it is, cheese, tomato. You might think it's simple, but there's a fine art to making a good margarita pizza. And it's the same with this as well. And also as well, again, this could be like cold pizza. Everyone loves eating cold pizza as well. You don't have to be just warm. You just need something that's relatively decent. That's all they need to do. The bar is already so low. If you somehow manage to sink the bar lower than what Double Exposure produce, then Jesus, holy hell, Christ. Look, it could be flawed with tons of bugs and stuff like that. Considering the production timeline and stuff, that in itself is its own animal. As long as it delivers something
Yeah.
remotely palatable, I think it's going to be enough. And look, you can't rewrite the history. The damage has already been done. All the other things have happened, but there's enough here to land a palatable game, palatable in certain ways. But yeah, I think he is like I've only ever heard good things about him and just really like detailed with his work and stuff. Worked on The Expanse as a narrative director. Worked on True Colors as the narrative director. Was a Before Storm writer. I mean, I don't think you can really be bothered by it with a co-director as well. The experience was like when I was looking them up, I was like, yeah, I can see like where this is in very safe hands as a production, which is something else. But yeah, it is something. And do you know what? As well, we haven't even covered it. Frost left as well. Deck Nine. I am heart fucking broken.
I know that goes into like, okay, well, who's left at Deck Nine? It's kind of like I don't know who's still there because like Webb's gone, Jonathan's gone, Frost is gone, Xanders is gone, Iris is gone.
Yeah.
Once again, it's kind of like, okay, there's still people there. Who dare? And I'm sure they're gonna like probably reach out to us like, I'm here. I'm Deck Nine employee. I'm sorry, but it's just like all the people that we're familiar with and we're friends with. It's just like, it's
yeah. Anyone that we've had like real contact with, it's just like it's gone. Like in terms of contact of like actual interviews and stuff, like they're gone.
Yeah,
and it's like anyone else as well. Yeah, well, he comes on whatever. He's like he cashing money in the bank. He's like, I'm back on Shard, back on. No, yeah, it's a really interesting pickle that you're in with Deck Nine. Like they have enough to keep making games. You'd be surprised with the studio that they have, the size that they have, and the production. Like you have to really be open minded to like how quick studios can save themselves and like fall apart and stuff. Like it can be down to the last tether. Like think about Telltale, the amount of times that almost collapsed and it almost was on the verge of collapsing. Like look at it now, it still exists. It might not be the peak power of Telltale, but it's still a studio, still an entity. It's there. It's still struggling to get games out, which kind of tells you a lot about the climate and stuff. Like, that's the industry is quite strange in that sense as well. But he's an interesting pick to have at the helm of things. It doesn't surprise me. Yeah, I hope you look forward to meeting the co-director. It'll be interesting when you get a catch of them as well and see what goes on there. The production team, it looks steady. It's a lot better than the other one. I think they're going to be efficient. It's a shame that the Double Exposure 4-year development period this development team didn't get. Because that's it.
Yeah.
Because I think for beat, they're better than every other department. I think the only equal that they have is the web motion capture. I think with Webb Pickersgill and Zach Andrews, you had two very talented motion capture directors of their own ilk and style. The other ones are all replaceable. Like Jonathan Starr being booted out of the chair, that's great. Fleece was 50-50 as well. Like, I know she worked on a lot of the BTS stuff and, was nowhere near as like compared to some of the other figures in like that team as well. I think she was more pragmatic compared to the other developers. But the other ones, no, they all need to be axed. They've lost it. They lost the identity of it. I still don't get certain things like how Deck 9 works, but as you will, so there you go. yeah, I thought we would bring that up as well. So we will move on to our next topic because it's worth talking about.
It's kind of crazy to me, this next
Indeed.
topic.
It is crazy. It's crazy, crazy. I'm going to pull up here. There it is. So as you can see, Adam, I'm going to put up on the bigger screen. Lost Records Twitter page there, quote tweeted as well. And I put there as well. Don't Know Montreal. I put it on the 9th of February. Don't Know Montreal's Lost Records Bloomer Age will turn a year old next week. So we are almost at the first anniversary of Tape 1 Bloom that came out.
You know, it's kind of wild to me that like it's already been a year because like I was in North Dakota when Tape 1 first came out, dude. So it's kind of crazy that like, yeah, it's been a year since I lived in North Carolina. But like I remember when this game was like when they were about to drop the release date. I was like, great. So it's during a moving week for me. I'll be focusing on packing up for a cross-country move. And then Tape 2 will come out when I'm in North Carolina. And now like with Reunion, of course, in my
they all hate you. That's why.
They do. They do. They are just like, oh, Adam's moving around this time. Yeah, we're gonna punish him for every time he's moving. In fact, True Colors came out when I had just moved into North Dakota. Like it was just like I had just moved to North Dakota when True Colors came out. So just like every time, dude. I'm just like, I'm just gonna move, and then there's gonna be another game announcement coming out, dude. It's gonna be Life is Strange Bloomin' Rage Avengers Reunion. That's what it's gonna be when I move next.
Also, it's Captain America Civil War. You made me say the Avengers. Someone pointed that out in the last comments.
I thought it was Avengers. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I touch grass, and I'm not a nerd.
It's because you're like reading your Punisher comics because the Punisher's not in Captain America. That's why you're crying over it. That's why you're like, nah, I'm not going to care about it being the right name. So I look like a fool being that. That's your fault, like you.
I'm sorry that I'm into like actual cool superheroes, like the anti-heroes, instead of like the nerdy Captain America. I'm sorry to the comments that I go outside and I touch grass. That's my fault. Sorry about that. But yeah, no, it is kind of wild. It's been a year. Dude. It's been a long year for me personally. But it's crazy that it's like come around to this, you know.
Yeah.
Like we were covering it from the beginning and then finally seeing the release date. And like looking back a year later, man, I wish I had more I wish I had more public oomph behind it than what it did.
Yeah, it's a shame because obviously the IP has now been shelved pretty much whilst they're doing this Netflix project. And it's like you kind of just sitting there thinking like they couldn't cut through, man. They couldn't cut. The marketing is not good at Don't Nod. I'm going to be honest as well. Like they need to look at resources and reallocate and stuff like that. They're kind of the company that needs to really rely on social media marketing, kind of like get people hooked into things. And it's like I've said this before as well. Like with Life is Strange Reunion coming out, and that could potentially be the last entry in the franchise. It's detrimental to Don't Nod because like their identity is still associated with Life is Strange. So whenever they tweet something, they get tons of numbers. When they don't do that, they don't get the numbers. It's like, hang on a minute, you kind of need something like this to do it. But they just don't promote Lost Records enough. There was like one wedge where it was like a graphic on Donald's Twitter where it said like, here's a plane seat. It wasn't my actual comment. Like it was actually being debated in the Lost Records subreddit. It was like it was like a plane seat with all the Don't Know characters that they created. It's like, which seat would you choose? And it's like you click on it, and there's no one from Lost Records in there. It's like, hang on a minute, where's the game that you just released last year? It's like, where are they? So you haven't put them on there. You put fucking G-Son on there and all these other games. It's like, where is the Lost Records characters? It's like, do you want this game to sell? Like, do you want people to pick it up? No one does like just a general like it didn't meet the sales expectations. It might have helped if you had promoted it to people and gave more exposure to people. Like you only do so much of it, but like again. They need to bring in a proper social media specialist and marketing thing. Like there's just even the ARG game. Is it ARG? Yeah.
Yes, it was ARG. Yes,
like, that's cool, but it's too niche, man. You need to crack through to other people. You need to make more thingy videos. Put me on that Life is Strange. Take that Don't Nod TikTok, my God, the numbers would be outrageous. I'd be posting like,
Oh God.
I'd be posting all kinds of funny videos on there as well, like just in that element, including like
Trying to apply to be on social media team at Don't Nod. Trying to move to Paris there.
I couldn't do
Paris.
it. No, I couldn't move to Paris.
Yeah.
No, I would never go back in the games industry. I'm completely out there officially, and I made that.
Yeah.
That was the best decision I ever did, leaving the games industry. But yeah, like general frustration. Yeah, like because the game didn't sell well, and it's like, you know where we're at right now with it. Like it was a commercial failure, unfortunately. Like in terms of even when you look at the stakes and what they wrote down and stuff, it's like it didn't sell. So it met sales and met within sales lines expectations, but that's not really a good measure of what they needed from this game. And they're moving on to the Netflix game now. So, but it was a very good game. It was a good game. It just didn't. Again, it was that Don't Know thing where they in itself as well. I make this comment. I think they came out with this game 5 years too late. The industry has changed.
Yeah,
times have changed.
Yeah, it's one of those things that like it's all timing in the same way that like Assassin's Creed Shadows. Like I feel like people were eating it up like 7 years ago, but
and that's on Ubisoft's fault as well. That's Ubisoft's fault because they were like, well, no one wants a Japanese game, no one wants a samurai game, and it's like, you know, Sucker Punch comes out with Ghost of Tsushima, and then you have is there another there's another samurai game that they teased, haven't they, recently on the PlayStation thing? I saw that. I think there's like one that's been teased on like a state of play over the last 2 years. Don't know what it is.
You're not talking about Ghost of Yote, are you?
No, I think there might be another one. Game? I swear there's another samurai game, unless is Ghost of Yote, but
yeah, because there's Ghost of Yote Legends that they're putting out for the free DLC. I don't remember if there's another one.
I think there is. No, that's not the old one. What is it? There was
Google samurai games.
There was a samurai game in last year that was revealed. What was it now that was revealed? I'm definitely sure it wasn't Ghost of Yote. Am I going crazy? Or was it Ghost of Yote?
Because Ghost of Yote came out last year. Yeah,
but I swear there was like one that was like revealed at a state of play, like like in a preview for games to be coming or something. But my memory's going completely like crazy. Okay, it might have been Ghost of Yote. I'm pretty sure there's another one though. I'm not going to dispute. I'm going to live that down. Yeah. Anyway, but like that, for example, like the Ghost of Yote and Ghost of Tsushima one as well. Like that's where you capitalize on a trend, and it's the same with when Fallout 4 came out. Remember when Fallout 4 came out as well, and people were like, "Yeah, I can't wait." And it's like, oh, it's like CD Projekt Red has really elevated this genre after a long thing, and it's like Bethesda's like pedestal just came down here because it was like, oh, well, like hell.
Let's put it this way: not just Fallout 4, but Starfield. Like Starfield is still like under like Bethesda's like same game design, where like CD Projekt Red has gone forward with everything. Not just CD Projekt Red, but like a lot of RPGs. Like look at Greedfall, look at the Outer Worlds, look at the Outer Wilds, but that's not an RPG. There's a lot of different elements you can do in the RPG landscape, but Bethesda started to say like, no, we're gonna make Skyrim in space. And it just doesn't work nowadays, which is why I'm kind of worried about Elder Scrolls 6. Whenever that comes out, I don't think I'll be alive when that thing comes out, dude. They're just going on the same spew, but times have changed, and it's unfortunate because I do think narrative games can definitely still thrive in the right market. I mean, look at Dispatch. Dispatch is just doing numbers right now. Like,
can it maintain it though? Can it do a second season? It works. Does it just fall into the same trap of Telltale doing the same game with the same engine, same style? Like, how much can you evolve that and change it? This is where the big test comes from it. Like, no doubt it's been a success and it's had this thing, but it's an anomaly with Clare Obscure. You're sitting there thinking, can you maintain this because the numbers drop off? And then you look at just Telltale's history. It was like, oh, here's a licensed IP. We'll do the deal. Instead of evolving the Telltale tool, which got... Do you remember the Telltale tool engine by the end of it? Like, it was like, holy hell. It was like, this is getting to the era of like... I was like, my God. So this engine is getting pushed to the limit. It was like driving like a Ford Focus in like 2026. And it was like on its last legs. Not that you have a Ford Focus is a bad thing. I'm just saying it's like at the end of its legs, you're really running it. It's like, maybe you just need to kind of like lift it a little bit. There's too much variety, Adam. There's too much variety. Trends have changed. Again, our audience has changed. Like we're in the 30s now. and there's people that are older than us, heaven forbid, that are millennials that are getting older. This genre is now changing. Those people who consumed Elder Scrolls and loved it because they were playing it in high school and college and blah, blah, they've got older. Are they going to be picking up these games now, necessarily speaking? Might do.
You know, it's funny, we're all saying it's like times have changed. And you know something I've been noticing a lot. And I think I told you, Adnan, that I recently got the original Xbox back. Like
Yeah.
I finally, after not having one for 20 years, I'm like, you know what, fine. It's my time to like get it. And my inner child is healed. Which I'm not okay with that phrase. My inner child is, why can't you just say you're healing yourself? I don't know. I don't know. That's again me constricting myself of just like healing myself by putting up a defense like, oh, I don't need to heal my inner child. Beyond that, beyond my trauma, okay. But like getting my original Xbox back, here's my points. I'm playing original Xbox games again. Okay, I'm playing Jet Set Radio Future. I'm playing Amped. You remember Amped, dude? Oh my god, so good. Tony Hawk's Underground. I'm playing like all these like older games, okay? And then I'm going back to like these modern games. My point is that these older games hold up because they knew how to keep your attention on the game. Like I'm not even going on Instagram or anything like that when I'm playing the original Xbox games, not because I'm just so like fed with nostalgia. It's just like this game is like keeping my attention. It is the game design back in the originals. Let's even go into the 360 era, right? The attention that games gave you, like they had such good game design that the only other game that I can think of like in modern times is Astrobot to have like brilliant game design that is fast paced, that doesn't waste your time. That does. I'm not trying to say Lost Record should be fast paced. That's a completely different story. What I am trying to put out here is that like games nowadays have this weird tendency to not try to keep your attention towards the entire game. Game design, it has become so different and so big for no reason that it kind of loses your attention because it's gotten so big. Like it's gotten so overwhelming that you start to lose your attention. Now you start to like not really see the game for what it is. So you try to move on to the next, see if that catches your attention. I don't know if there's like, if I'm going on the right track here or if you agree or if you're like totally disagreeing with me here.
It was simplicity and it was capitalizing on times as well. I remember the Dwayne The Rock Johnson standing next to Bill Gates on the stage of Xbox and revealing it. It was like the coolest thing. It's the same with Dennis Rodman being in WCW as a small cameo. It was ridiculous, but you loved it. Now it feels forced. So you look at the modern day format when there's like Bad Bunny and all this other stuff. It's like, it doesn't work in wrestling. You try it with like gaming content. You have like Sabrina Carpenter and Fortnite. It doesn't hit the same beats because the games just feel quite like robotically made. It feels quite like the soul is kind of stripped from it a little bit. So it's the same with those kind of games. There was a different nostalgia. Like those are just kind of like charming and like quite nice. It's like you look at modern animation, like if you look at animation from Pixar back in the day compared to now, the soul's gone, the game's gone. Like, you know, I always spend some of my days watching Yu-Gi-Oh in my spare time. I look at the designs in that game and in the card game, I'm like, oh my god, they were amazing. Like you'd never see some of the card designs getting made now. And it's just, that's where we're at right now. We've lost that kind of touch of the artistic freedom, the kind of creativity, making games that are kind of like simple. Productions costs, they're outrageous, man. Even to $70 game. I saw someone posted a Jason Schreier tweet saying that he said like $70 is too much for a game. Damn straight it is. And especially in the modern day climate when wages and inflation are matching things. People aren't paying $70 for a game. They ain't going to pay it for it. They're not going to pay for it in that kind of bulk. The only anomaly is going to be GTA. That's because it's got enough appeal for it. Is I don't pay $70 for it. I'm not paying $70 for a game.
Yeah. But like my attitude right now when I'm playing on my original Xbox right now, my whole thing is that like back in the day, like game designers tried to win your time, but now it just feels like they're trying to steal your time. Like instead of trying like again, like they are winning me. Dude, I recently because I'm rebuilding my Xbox library and I went to my game store and I got Amped and I'm like, and I was telling this to my wife that I was like, I hope I put this in. I hope I put this in and I And it's just kind of like, I hope nostalgia isn't clouding my brain. And because you play an old game, it's like, oh, I remember this completely different. Dude, I put in amps and I am just, dude, 3 hours gone.
Yeah.
It's like 3 hours is gone because I'm trying to get my sponsorships and all that. And like, dude, I looked on the back of the box and it says featuring 150 music tracks, 150, and then I get amp 2 and there's 300 soundtrack. It's just a way of just like it wins your time. Amps wins my time. But when I go into modern games, it really does feel like you're trying to steal my time.
That's the big one, yeah. Yeah. We'll move on to our next topic. When you said, I hope this puts in, I was like...
All this to say is that Lost Records wins my time. Buy Lost Records, play Lost Records, or you're not my friend.
Yeah. We'll move on to our next topic. But yeah, as I said, when you said, I hope this puts it in, I was like, I wonder what you mean by that. I was like, that's what she said. Anyway, Adam, last topic, because we'll end up on always on a high note, because it's always a high note topic to end on. As you can see here on the screen, I'm going to put myself down here. The lovely Hannah Telle has posted on Instagram, and we have to cover it because Hannah Telle, as she's put there as well, a little message saying, making Life is Strange Reunion was such an emotional experience. Playing Max for the last time was heart-wrenching for me. It's been hard to accept that her story is over, but I'm so excited to share our hard work with the world on 26th of March. I'm extremely thankful for Reunion giving me more time with Max and the experience to further explore and deepen her relationship with Chloe, played by the awesome Rhianna DeVries. Truly the end of the sign there as well, with even Hannah saying as well as the last Max game as well.
That's what I do appreciate about this marketing, is that they are really trying to get into the Life is Strange fan base. Like, hey, man, there is no conformity gate here. It is done. Like this.
Adam, I agree with that as well. But also, it's because they caused this as well. They are here. We are here because of it. Like, there's a twofold effect, which is, yes, great. Square Enix is being a lot more transparent. The things are easier. Also, secondly, they don't have the marketing team because they've laid everyone off at Square Enix, more or less. So they're all gone. And on top of that, you kind of have to, Adam. This is like proper, we're sorry from the South Park sketch. I can't remember who it is. Is it Tony something from BP?
Oh,
they do sketch.
Yeah.
So we're
sorry. He's in front of the fireplace. We're so sorry.
Yeah, so we're sorry. What's he called? Thingy, Tony something. Tony Hayward. Tony Hayward. And he's like, we're sorry. Like, and he's like, he was stroking like Pandora's eyes, like, sorry. It's like, that's truly what this is. We're getting to that point where I could even have a video. It's like Hannah Telle stroking me. So we're sorry. It's like, no, this is we are where we are. Like, it kind of has to rely, ironically, on like Hannah posting.
They're being completely, and that's why I say, like, I like the marketing of this game. I do. Like, it's refreshing. It is wide in the open. Whereas Double Exposure, like, what are we doing? Double Exposure, I was just like, what is happening? But with Reunion, it's just kind of like, here's your dessert. This is the last thing. Then you go to bed. You go to bed without Life is Strange. It's like, oh, I eat in the bed. No. This is your cake. You eat it here. This is done. This is the finale of the meal. We're done here. Even again, like you said, Hannah Telle is saying like, man, it's really emotional being the last time I'm playing Max. Like, it's not to say that if they ever decide to go back to Max, like they're like, no, it's in their contract. That was the final one. It's not to say that. What it is trying to say is like, set your expectations that this done. We're done.
Well,
it's over.
She won't come back to it. She's about 38 years old, man. Like, she's not getting any younger. Like, in a respectful way. Like, she's not going to be able to cook. Well, but what's she going to do then? Is she going to come back as a teenage Max Caulfield at that point?
No. What I'm about to say is like, not just like she's getting older, but like also she has other goals. She wants to be a neuropsych. Is it a neuropsych psychologist?
I don't know what she definitely got the qualification. I don't know if she still wants to do it. She wants to make music. She's getting married. Like, her life's taking different turns.
Married. She's making music. She's going to neuroscience. Like, she has other goals, you know? So it's not even just like her getting older. She doesn't want to play Max. It's more of like, she wants to live her life. Like,
when when I was saying when she gets older, I'm just saying like she is getting old. Like it's just a natural thing where it's like unless the character ages into the 60s and like whatever, she's not going to be able to play like a teenage Max and stuff, especially in the demands of motion capture and all the other stuff as well.
Oh,
Depending
that's
if they do
Lisa
that.
Simpson's actress.
Oh, Nancy Cartwright. Is
Yeah,
Nancy
Nancy
Cartwright?
Cartwright.
Yeah, Nancy Cartwright.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's Nancy. Yeah, Nancy Cartwright.
Well, I mean,
and to Sabrina Carpenter.
well, I mean, she, yeah, well, yeah. Well, I was gonna frame what I was gonna say next, but like, but like in itself as well, like, yeah, I mean, if it went back to the animation format, then definitely she could play Max and stuff like that. But like, we are where we are now, as I said to you as well. Like, that's why I sit here a bit like I'm like I've mourned this for years, like from where we're at now with the double exposure and stuff and like, whatever else of it. You're kind of like
Yeah.
in the catch up stage of like where we've been through. We're going through the cycles of grief and stuff like that. We're now, I think we're at acceptance. Are we at that point? Maybe not. I think maybe we'll want to step behind it. But like,
I don't know if it's about like the whole cycles of grief and all that because feelings aren't real, buddy. I don't know what you've been studying, but feelings aren't real. Trauma's not real,
well,
buddy.
you reject your inner child. We know why. Like that's.
But yeah, it's more of just like for me personally, it's like I hate that this is how we're ending things. I hate how it's ending. Like it's not ending in the hands of Don't Nod. It is ending in the hands of a bad business deal going into a bad performing sales game to then saying like, well, we gotta end this. Kind of like we're ending this old Yeller style. You know what I mean? I don't like how we're ending things is what's getting me.
We're limping to the finish line. We're limping.
We really
badly.
are.
And it's just
Yeah.
and it's that height of like when something's great and it's like we just had to like cause something where it's just derailed everything and you've thrown it off. It's that Game of Thrones thing. The souring reputation that happened after that 7th season, even the 6th season, as it started to go into things, it really soured that in franchise. Like I remember when people like, George R. R. Martin's like, it's a new like J.R.R. Tolkien, he's going to do this and that. No one talks about like Game of Thrones anymore. No one even they've teased that game a couple of times. People are like, oh, Game of Thrones, they're like, oh, it's Game of Thrones. I remember that. And it's like you think about it, Telltale did a really poor Game of Thrones game version. I mean, the ending was pretty cool, like how it ended, but it was still like it felt a little bit tame compared to Telltale the past. It was like Telltale in its bygone era. It wasn't terrible. Batman wasn't the best, but Game of Thrones was okay. It could have been better. Anyway, on that point though, like Game of Thrones, like you saw what happened at the end. It just dampened everything and all the other stuff. And it's the same with here. We're like, kind of like sitting here like,
Yeah.
like we're just trying to get to the finish line. And for me as well, like as I said, the main thing is just to land this game. Like that's all you need to do is like get it into a place where it's like True Colors meets Before the Storm, vanilla ice cream. Just to do another food metaphor. Everyone hates some vanilla ice cream, but vanilla ice cream is always the best as well. It's simple, it's plain. If it's made, it's delicious. And that's all you need as well. You just need something that's quite beige. And as I said, don't bring back the other Arcadia Bay characters, Kate Marsh, the Wild Fantasies. Just make it simple. You've got everything you need right now. Do not mess this up even more. Keep it simple. Don't do the big ending either. Don't do a sacrifice. Make it Return of the Jedi. I want to see Chloe Price dancing with Ewoks. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. I want to see her dancing with Ewoks, and that's it. And you see Force Ghosts as well. William Price there, like half head, like limping over like Stewie from Blue Harvest. And it's like, that's what I want to see. And it's same with Rachel Amber as well in a body bag. And it's like as a Force Ghost. That's all I want to see. Make it beige and simple. That's it. Make it wholesome. Make it good. Finish on a high note. We don't need anything else.
Yeah. It's kind of is what it is. Like I said, I don't think it's going to blow us out of the water, but I think it's just going to end the way it ends. So yeah. I just hate how it's ending, man. I hate that this is how the era is going to end.
Yeah, they've put it in this position. It's like, as I said, like the shame for me is like not seeing the development team of this Expanse team trying to make a 4-year Life is Strange game. I think you could have even had something more special. They just really botched it up as well. And look, do you know what, Adam, as well? Nostalgia is not a great thing. It's really not. It's really not. Like the amount of nostalgia that we're now milking to the point where it's just ridiculous. Like the one thing that is sacred for me in my life, which I feel is still very sacred and not many people talk about it, Back to the Future. Like, my God, we have something special there. As long as Robert Zemeckis is alive and doing things, like we're safe with that. But look at it, special though. Have they tried to remake it? They've tried to remake Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, which was an absolute disaster. Saved by the Bell, disaster. Anything. What hasn't been touched? Happy Gilmore, disaster. They're remaking them. They're doing another Mummy. Why are you doing another one with Brendan Fraser? Leave Brendan Fraser alone, man.
They're doing the Mummy with Brendan Fraser.
Yeah, with Rachel Weisz, is it as well?
No way, dude. For real? I didn't know that. I knew they were redoing the Mummy, but I didn't know they were bringing back Brendan. Why?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Let me just double check this because it's the Mummy 4, I think it is. I think they've signed up to it. Yeah. Brendan Fraser, Mummy 4, and Rachel Weisz and Thingy have signed up to it.
Damn.
But it's not, again, but who cares about them? Like, that was for its time, a 2000s thing. It's just leave it alone. The only time nostalgia works is when you do something like, I'm not really a huge fan of the new Marvel films, but it's like when they did Spider-Man Homecoming and stuff, and you saw Tobey Maguire come back. It's like, that's perfectly integrated nostalgia where you're doing something where you like make it thing. But we don't need another Spider-Man film with Tobey Maguire in the main lead. We've done it. It's happened. Move on from it. Now we're just in the era of milking everything. Name me one thing that hasn't been milked yet.
Me.
We can do that. Well, might happen after the podcast. This one, Valentine's Day. But we're not. But this is where we end up though, and it has a big thing as well because it's like Hannah's legacy is like, you know, she'll always be Max and people love it, but it's that kind of thing where it's like, you know, are we actually going to sit here and not think like she doesn't realize what the reception is for double exposure? Like, do you not think that? Like, she's seen like she obviously seen things. The other actors have probably seen things as well. Like, are we going to play the optics that they're not in the day and age of social media and stuff like that, and the way the game has been received and all the pivots that have happened quite clearly on this project? It's like, come on, man. But I'm happy that she gets to play Max one more time. She looks so much more confident and sure in the role. I'm sure she'll deliver as well with the performance. I hope that they can at least land the game in a place where it's okay for some people and just makes it palatable. Again, it's not going to make it palatable for a lot of people. They've caused all kinds of problems as it is. And I'm already rolling my eyes at one or two things that they're doing. So I'm like, why are we breaking Max's powers again? I'm like, please stop it. Like, just keep the parameters and stop breaking things. But as realistic as I can, I'm not just saying that thinking like, well, the production teams have changed. A lot of things have changed. Yeah, it's going to be flawed in certain places, but it could still reasonably set a decent expectations because the bar is so low. You just need to lift it. Jonathan Zimmerman's going to be like James Cameron being lifted in that spherical as it is in South Park. And you're going to have that little song being played. It says, instead of it being, it's James Cameron, it's Jonathan Zimmerman. It's like James Cameron, greatest pioneer. That's such a great sketch. That I love when he's floating down. He's like lights on, music on. And then he's like, can you guys hear me? And it's just like a bunch of people sitting on the ship and that song's playing. And it's like, yes, James, we can hear you. He's lifting the bar. That's what's happening with the Expanse team. Zach Andrews, Jonathan Zimmerman, all of them are in that little submarine and they're going down to the bottom to lift the bar out of this. Yeah, I'm very excited to see what Hannah does. I'm sure she will. I hope she gets nominated for a BAFTA this year when she does knock this out of the ballpark, or it goes into 2027, whichever one it is, because she'll deserve it. And I also wish Rhianna DeVries the best of luck as well, because I'm sure that they will also do a great performance. But Adam, at the end of the episode, because we got everything done there. So thank you for joining us, guys. Big shout out to our Patreon subscribers. Obviously, we have Kevin Lackner, Sunday, Clare McLoughlin, Jake, Carly, Kevin Kestis, Clarx, MrAnselmi, Spunger, The Lost Fan, Paul Groschke, Xavier, Ashlyn, and Katelyn. So thank you so much for the support on Patreon. It is really appreciated. Patreon incentive will come very soon for the month podcast episode, and we'll definitely get that up early ahead of time. But yeah, we're done here. So thank you so much for joining us. If you are new here, one more time, please do consider dropping subscribe on the channel, turn notifications, like the video, and share with your friends. And also as well, StrangeCast is available on all podcast services, so check us out there. And you can get access to all your content via social media and all the other stuff as well. So yeah, let us know your thoughts in the comments about any of the topics, anything interesting. It'll be exciting to hear. But anyway, we'll see you in our next episode. Take care, guys. Bye.
Later.
Ready for the mosh pit, Shaka Bra.